Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. It is officially January 9th. A new CBA has not been agreed upon. Players have been given authorization to strike if needed, hanging over the owners' heads. The owners now have the ability to lock them out if they choose to do so. However, what the owners understand, if they were to lock these players out, well, the players would run to social media, the players would run to their Instagram account, the players would run to the 46,000 and cry wolf. Oh, you see? They locked us out. See, we had the strike in our back pocket and we didn't use it. They locked us out first. Very smart, owners. Very smart. Why lose momentum that you are currently gaining? Why lose a public favor that you currently now have by locking these players out? Let's get right into it. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe. That would mean so much to me. What we're hearing on the WNBA's CBA negotiations. Breanna Stewart, Vice President of the WNBA Players Association, said Thursday that the league and players union will not agree to another collective bargaining agreement extension at Friday's deadline, meaning both parties would instead enter a period of status quo. The WNBA and Players Association previously agreed to 2 extensions of the current deal, 30 days at the end of October and 40 days at the end of November. Neither side appears to be offering an extension ahead of the January 9th deadline. What does this status quo period mean, and what are the implications for the 2026 season? ESPN examines both, plus what Stewart and other players are saying about the negotiations in Miami, where 50-plus WNBA players are competing in the second season of Unrivaled. What does status quo mean? Let's get into it. For one, not a work stoppage, at least not yet. Under the status quo, the working conditions of the current CBA would be maintained, and the league and union can continue negotiating. But because the CBA expired without a replacement and the agreement prohibits either side from engaging in a work stoppage, status quo opens the door for a strike initiated by the players or a lockout instituted by the owners. Sources told ESPN that the league has not been contemplating a lockout, but a strike has been considered for the players. So the league not contemplating a lockout shows their good faith. The players saying, you know what, we're going to strike, shows the bad faith of the players. I think this is a good move for the owners, actually. They can kick their feet up, look good, and if the players want to strike, it's just a dash on the players. It's just a blemish on the players negotiating. The owners continue to compromise. The owners continue to give. The players don't budge. Smart move, owners. Both sides continue to be far apart as they work toward a new deal, particularly on the issue of revenue sharing and what such a system should look like. A source told ESPN that the league has yet to respond to a recent proposal from the union because it wasn't significantly different from the Players Association's previous offer. We said no to the previous offer. The new offer that you just is still not adequate. So if I already said no to the other offer and you're pretty much sending me the same thing, just changing a few words, well, the answer is still no. So until you show us that you're serious, then we'll, get back in engaging. But for now, the 4x salary increase that we're giving you, the massive salary cap increase that we're providing you, I think we have offered the best offer. So how about you come meet us a little bit more in the middle instead of your crazy demands? The longer both sides go without a deal, the greater the likelihood that the league will need to conduct a condensed offseason where a 2-team expansion draft, free agency, and the college draft all must occur within a few weeks or months. Last season, by contrast, an expansion draft was held in early December. Free agency took place from January 11th to February 1st, and the college draft was April 14th. Wow. Expansion draft early December, so we would have already had the expansion draft by now. Free agency is about to kick off Monday. And here we are, January 9th, no expansion draft, no free agency, no rumors even looming when it comes to possible free agency. Now, what I would say, in the condensed offseason, you know how much news and how fast these organizations would need to move? Things will be coming out left and right, roster move here, roster move there, expansion draft, trade, signing, draft. As far as a rat race of an offseason, if there is a condensed offseason, it could be quite entertaining. It could be the wild, wild west. 2 months to get the whole draft, free agency, WNBA draft, training camp, all completed in 2 weeks. In 2 months, excuse me. That would be fun to watch. That would be fun to watch instead of dragging along. Okay, we have the early signings of free agency period. Then we wait 2 weeks. Then we have another random signing. Then we wait 2 weeks. Then we have a trade. Then we wait a month. Then we have another sign. No. Nope. Despite the uncertainty, league sources believe both sides will get a deal done and there will be a 2026 season, according to Alexa Filippo. Now, we're going to fast forward to this part right here. They are trying to take something away from us in our CBA that is something that benefits everyone across the board, Sykes said. They are trying to take away housing and cars. If you try to take something away, what's in place of it? You up the money, but just because you gave us 100,000 more doesn't mean a housing complex is going to sublease for us, especially for 4 months. Is the contract guaranteed? What if a player gets traded? They still got to deal with the apartment? Some said that if the league reinstated team housing into the new CBA deal, there might be space for the union to give in on some other areas. Quote, they need to keep housing. That is a huge thing. They can't get rid of that, a player told ESPN. But if they say, okay, but then we're going to extend the season, you need to play more games, and it's going to take more months of the year, I would be okay with that as an example. Interesting. Not sure we've heard that yet. Interesting. I wish I would know who they can put that name to. Paige Beckers added, think about that. Their gripe is 4 months. Okay, let's say we extend the season to 6 months plus postseason. We have a 7-month season, give or take. Then you'll be okay with us not providing housing? Okay, 6-7 month season. Well, if I'm the owners, well, I might think maybe I could get more ticket sales. Maybe I could get more advertising dollars. Maybe I could get more merchandise sales. Something that the league can actually contemplate. Paige Beckers added, we've had those talks and we've sort of come up with an idea of just what we're not willing to bargain and go back and forth with. Once we think the other side has showed a little bit of compromise in meeting us halfway on what we deserve, I think that's when the negotiations are settled. From Kendra Andrews. Now, no disrespect to Paige. Paige has no leverage in these talks, to be honest with you. Like, hearing her side of it, it's cool, I guess. But she's got no leverage. She's a rookie. Yeah, maybe she has a big name, but she doesn't put butts in seats. She doesn't. She doesn't put people on their living room couch watching her games on TV. She doesn't. So it's all cool hearing what Paige has to say, but Paige, what do you even think you deserve? You just got here. What do you even think you deserve? You haven't really brought anything to the table as far as the league's concerned. That's the difference here. Caitlin Clark brings a lot to the table, even though she's only going into her quote-unquote third season, hopefully. Her rookie season, she brought a lot to the table. Her second season, she brought a lot, plus more to the table. Paige Beckers brings nothing to the table. Ask Unrivaled. We're going to get into that a little bit later today. But she doesn't bring anything to the table other than being a UConn basketball player who, yeah, she's pretty good, but she doesn't captivate any audiences. It is what it is. That's the truth. So right now we're in a limbo period. Status quo is what they're calling it. Because the CBA expired without a replacement and the agreement prohibits either side from engaging in a work stoppage, status quo opens the door for a strike to be initiated by the players or a lockout instituted by the owners. The longer the owners say we're not going to lock out and continue to put the burden on the players to strike, if you see the players strike while the owners are saying, no, we're still here, we're ready to engage, and the players say, nope, we're striking, it's going to look very bad for the players. Front Office Sports comes out with an article as well. WNBA players won't reach labor deal by Friday's deadline. You hate to see it. They just spam you with the ads. Just over 24 hours before the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement was set to expire, Union Vice President Breanna Stewart made it clear where negotiations stand. We're not coming to an agreement by tomorrow. I can tell you that. We're just going to continue to negotiate in good faith. Stewart, who is also the co-founder of the 3-on-3 League Unrivaled, has been one of the leading voices, expressing concerns over what players have perceived as a lack of urgency on the WNBA's part through negotiations. The league has not yet responded to a proposal submitted by the union roughly 2 weeks ago. Well, we know that proposal was laughable. Kelsey Plum says, quote, I wish I could give you a better answer. It doesn't necessarily mean a lockout. It doesn't necessarily mean a strike. It's probably more of a status quo thing and negotiate in good faith. The strike authorization was something for us to show that we're all on the same side, Stewart said. Quote, we're all understanding where we're at. It's not something that we're going to do right this second, but being able to have that in our back pocket. Again, now that we've reached the deadline, what's the strike going to do? Now that the season's over, I've said this previously, once the season ended, a strike meant nothing. Your guys' time to strike was during the season. As soon as Caitlin Clark got injured, was out for the season, and you knew everybody would tune off, that's the time to strike. But you blew it. You blew it. The league's latest offer, which came in early December, includes players receiving roughly 70% of net revenue, which sources familiar with the negotiations believes equates to less than 15% of total league revenue. The salary cap would increase to $5 million, up from $1.5. The max player salaries would be more than $1.3 million, with the league's proposed revenue sharing model factored in. Average salaries would exceed $530,000, including revenue sharing. Max salaries and average salaries would increase to $2 million and $780,000, respectively, over the course of the WNBA's proposed deal. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. That would mean so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.